So you might have seen the trailer yesterday, but here we are. As promised, we are checking out ProMods 2.50 in this video. Enjoy, guys. Hey guys, Clumsy here. Welcome back to ETS and welcome to ProMods 2.50. It is now in release candidate 1 RC1 version, and that has been released to us promoters. That means it is one step away from public release, so hopefully if they don't find any game-breaking bugs, then you should have it on your hands as well soon. Trademark, copyright, registered, everything, patent pending. Anyway, so you might have seen this trailer. This was done by the amazing TKK. Thank you for making this trailer for me. Absolutely love it, and you might have seen that in the trailer yesterday as well. Just realized trailer. Anyway, let's jump on to the contents here. ProMods 2.50 is a massive update in the ProMods map mod. There you go, all the new areas. I will not go through each and every one, but for today in this video we will focus on a specific part of Poland. Poland, I believe, received one of the biggest overhauls in this update, so we will be checking that out. It will be coming from, oh my goodness, pronunciation, Łódź, passing through the A1, and I'll try to highlight each of the new works as we pass through them, in the highlighting the developer and the words of the developer from the blog. We'll try that. Passing through this is a new city, or a new town, Piotrków Trybunalski, I think, something like that. And then we'll go into the province of, oh my goodness, Świętokrzyskie province. Passing through Kielce and then arriving in Lublin. Might have gotten that wrong, but it's a 470 kilometer journey filled with new areas, and I'll try to showcase them as we go. If you saw any of that in the map, at least, because I forgot I was covering a part of it because of this image. Anyway, you can pause the video, check that out, and I think that has been also shared with the public, that image right there. So we are good. We are driving still with the DAF XF 105 by vad&k, with the sounds from RJ Productions. Absolutely love this mod. So a couple of notes. As you might have noticed, the map looks smaller. When I looked at it, when I showed it to you, it's mainly because the ProMods team, as part of showcasing this new update, they requested us to remove all other map mods to prevent any possible conflicts arising or crashing because of map mod conflicts, which tend to be plenty whenever there is a big update like this. And so this is ProMods only when it comes to the map mod. The only other mod I have when it comes to the map is the satellite image, as you might have seen. But that shouldn't be classified as a map mod per se. Also, I had to remove the textures and vegetation from Project Next Gen. So even though I still have the weather from Project Next Gen, like the clouds, the lighting, I did have to remove the textures. So these are all default. This is exactly what you would see when you get ProMods alone. Why am I getting a lot of stutters? That's weird. We'll see if that persists throughout in here. But yes, the team also requested to remove them. It was not mandatory, but I figured as a sign of respect, if that's what they wanted, then that's what I'll give them. And I completely understand where they're coming from in asking to remove all textures and vegetation updates or mods, because they've had instances when it looked a bit deformed, it looked out of place because of those changes. think this is the way through. Yes, okay, good. And yeah, that makes sense. I remember in particular one of the ProMods members, Bricks at Home, is particularly fond, and I say that in a sarcastic way, of Grimes' spring mod because of how the way those bushes are like. The spring mod kind of blows up, expands the vegetation in such a way that it goes over the roads, which is not the original design of the map makers. And so they have a bit of how do you say, cautious approach when it comes to playing well with texture mods. So all of this that you're seeing, all of these are SCS textures, or ProMods textures I should say. They probably reuse some textures from the recent DLCs, so it still is high quality. All the signs you see, they are all from either SCS or ProMods, no other map mods involved. Let me see here if we can look at it. I'll probably have to pause the video a couple of times. Okay, we are entering it. This might actually be part of it already. You might see the detailed signs, but the A1 has been modified, has been rebuilt significantly. You can see these areas are all brand new, including the town of or city of Piotrków Trybunalski, and this is by the developer Jaden M8. Keep a close watch on the Carrefour warehouse, because that's something that he is particularly fond of from the looks of it. So thank you, Jaden mate, for the work here. And excited to pass through the large junctions. That car seemed to have been driving very slow, though. He might have been sightseeing as well. There it is. I think I saw some of the promoters also showing ProMods 2.50 already. What have you guys seen already? I think Squirrel streamed it. Where has he gone? I'm sure a lot of people were wondering how the UK looks. And I have to thank ProMods again, because this is something that they have not done before. They made something for us promoters. I'm not sure if we'll be able to share it to the public eventually. I'll ask them. But this is something I really appreciate, because they made some kind of like a web page for us. They call it an info pack. In my line of work, info pack means something completely different. That's a completely different story altogether, but let's call it the way they call it. It's an info pack because it's a pack with all the info in it, which makes sense, right? So it's basically like a local website, couple of web pages glued together, which basically lists all the changes in each of the places. So it lists all the countries, all the new cities, all the rebuilt areas, and not only that, it has images in each of them. So it shows the map and shows the highlight of how each of those places, or where each of those places are. And I would love to share that with you, because I know from my interactions with you guys, you are as curious as I am in knowing which specific areas have been updated. And so yes, I'll try to ask if that can be shared to the public, and if it can, I'll find a way to do so. I'll probably include it in the mods list or something. So yes, if you if you guys have something in particular you want me to explore, let me know in the comments. If you've seen it somewhere and you want to try it out, let me know. Yeah, I've been getting more stutters. I would attribute that to ProMods, because I've not gotten that in a long time. So there must be some error still lingering. It's a release candidate, but it's not the actual release yet, so there might still be some finicky things here We'll have to take a look. There might be some errors in the log. I like this one. Oh, look at all those signs. Yeah, definitely customly made. Beautiful. And to be perfectly honest, I would have preferred to enable Project Next Gen textures because I know those definitely improve the visuals even more. But yeah, I think it's best we show the pure experience when it comes to this. So we go with the original textures for now, and then we plug the custom textures in later once we know how the original thing looks like. Here we are passing through the new city of Piotrków Trybunalski, and I'm really sorry for the pronunciation. That's the best I can manage. There we go. And the signature ProMods pop-ups showing you when you're entering a new place. Nice. Beautiful. It's not a big city. Looks more like a town that's very spaced out. Lots of trees. I like how even the sign is a bit crooked. Nice attention to detail. It looks like the main road turns to the left here, so that means I don't need to signal left. Correct? I think. Alright, and if you have to go straight at that point, you would have had to signal right. Something along those lines. Yeah, we don't have those kinds of roads where I drive in, so it's pretty different to me. Very nice. Is that guy crossing? Yes, he is. He's probably going to stop. No, thank you. So when ProMods 2.50 is publicly released, you should be able to also have access to this trailer if you are interested in hauling with it. Because I do love the design. Highlights the great areas in ProMods 2.50 and also has my logo and social media links, so it's perfect for me. Thanks again, TKK. Amazing stuff. Now I do have the real company mod from Shumi, so I'm not sure if that is what we're seeing there in the gas station or if this is specific to ProMods. Maybe I should have disabled that as well. But that is one thing I would be really having a hard time removing in my list, because that is just such an immersion changer. Having real companies replacing those ugly gas stations, especially in France, the Echo, as you guys know, my absolute least favorite gas station in SCS world. Oh, I love this. Now it's become pretty bushy. I like it. So we should be crossing over soon to... Maybe we have been in there already. I'm not sure if I will get a pop-up when we enter the province of... oh, here we go again. I had to plug these into Google Translate so I have a chance of pronouncing them. Świętokrzyskie province. And if you look at the spelling, oh, for me, it should sound nowhere like that. Maybe it doesn't sound anywhere like that in reality, but that's the best I could do. So that province looks like inside there is Kielce. That is the capital of the province. Maybe I should read some stuff from the blog in case you haven't read that through. Unfortunately, we did not see the Carrefour warehouse, or at least I did not see it. If you spotted it, let me know. But maybe we had to go through a different road. And yes, I'm showing here only a small subset of the changes as I showed you in the video, in the beginning of the video. So we'll have more opportunities to check other areas out. So let me know which ones you prefer. And we'll most likely stream this on Friday as well so we can explore in more detail. Let me see. Once we enter that area, the Kielce rebuild is headed by Lynx21, and he's pretty proud of his work. Some very nice flavor text that I'll be reading as we pass through it, but I'll leave that there for now until we get there. Where are we anyway? Okay, we are not quite there yet, I think. Okay, now how do you read that? Sorry, no chance at all. Too many W's, too many consonants there. I leave that to you Polish guys to teach me how to pronounce that. But that looked very scary. Like something was just typing on the keyboard some random letters, at least in my view. Anyway, so really happy about this humongous ProMods 2.50 update, and usually that's how it is. When they change the number, the version number, to, how do you call it, the tenths decimal. Oh my goodness, how do I press? Like 2.30, 2.40, 2.50. Yeah, maybe that makes it clearer. Then it typically includes a lot of changes, not only bug fixes and whatnot. So we'll see more of those places as we go. But the thing I am worried about, and this is always the thing whenever there's a ProMods update, and even more so now that there's a humongous ProMods update, is how it will affect the other map mods. I'm sure the other map modders are probably groaning by now as they see the list of changes ProMods has done, because typically they don't have visibility of the changes either until it comes out like this. So now would probably the first instance where they see that, and basing on the changes, it looks like there are some overlaps in some of the familiar areas. Ukraine has gotten a lot more cities, and if I remember correctly, RoX in particular has a lot of Ukraine coverage as well. So I can imagine some overlaps in there. Some areas do sound familiar, like, oh, that's that Lviv or something. Not sure how they will progress from there, but I can imagine a lot of adjustments needed from other map mods. And yeah, it will be a pain, so we'll have to live with that for a while as they adjust, if they are willing to adjust at all. But eventually I am hopeful that we'll find a way together to enable all these map mods again. And that's exactly why ProMods has asked us to remove all the map mods for now except for ProMods, because for sure there will be conflicts, most likely there will be crashes, and yeah, it's just best to avoid that at this early stage. And I'm not sure if they're planning on like releasing this map to the other modders as well, the map mods. Maybe they only release it for the public. When this gets a public release, then the other modders will also get their hands on it. It would be ideal if there could be like, this is the one, Świętokrzyskie, the second word there. Okay, it looks like the first word is probably, maybe that means province. The second word is the name of the province. That's what I get. Let me know if I got that right. But yes, that's the thing I was trying to pronounce all this time. Świętokrzyskie. Something along those lines. Okay? Don't ask me to repeat anymore. 70 here, and immediately you start seeing already the nice amount of detail in here. Small things add up, like the simple combination of all those different houses in the distance like that makes it a very lived-in area. It's very natural because you could definitely spot it. Like some areas, if the map modder is not yet very accustomed, it would stand out. Like it would appear like the houses were literally plopped down on the ground and they were not merging well. Here it just looks so real, and even though of course I've never been here in real life, I can imagine that would be pretty close. For those of you who have been here, who are familiar with this place, let me know if this area looks familiar and if it is representative of the real thing. I know we have quite a large Polish community here in the channel, so wave your hands, say hi, and let me know how it looks. Let me know if you want to check out other areas. What's that mean? Oh, too many letters in there for me to pronounce. I wish you could like have like this automatic Google Translate thing, you know. It would scan and it would pronounce the thing as you look at it. That would be very easy for me. That might be asking for too much though. Anyway, yeah, so I'll be driving in ProMods 2.50 for the foreseeable future. I'll keep you guys updated as well. I'll try to scour the forums for how... wait a minute, one sec. I think I have to stop here. Kielce is to the right. And this I think is one of the new areas already, if I'm not mistaken. Kielce, this one, Centrum. Yeah, I had a flyover here yesterday as I was looking for the first place I wanted to explore, and I decided it's going to be Poland because it's one of the, I think it's the #1 country which received the most number of changes in this update. So I think it's only right we check it out first. Let's see. But yes, I was flying over here. Kielce definitely had a very memorable snapshot for me. Looked very unique. The roads, some very unique buildings. But yeah, maybe now that we're here, where am I going? Here, I think, on the right. Very interesting junction. Okay, so let me read the info from Lynx21, developer of this area. If you've ever been to Świętokrzyskie province, you already know it has one of the best landscapes in Europe. Wow, representing huge hilly fields. While not being very populated, the area has so much to offer. Here we want to focus on the city of Kielce. Here we are almost, I think. The capital of the province. Along with Poznan, Kielce is a city of large expo events. Located near the S7 and S74 expressways, we are in one of those for sure right now. I think this is the S74 now, a while ago it's the S7. And with a population of 195,000, the city is a major transport hub in the area. We'll be turning off here, entering the actual city because I love how the junction here looks like. I'll show you later. Might take a photo of that. Here we are, entering the city area of Kielce. And this, I think this city has been here before, but it has been completely rebuilt. So some custom buildings here. Massive blocks of flats, but oh wow, this is a bit skimpy. That might be a rare or a unique building, I think. Let's stop here so I can sightsee for a bit. Like, look at this junction. This red light, right? Yeah. Look at that hole in the middle. That looks so unique. I love that. That building in the corner, Skanska Komarch. Those look like offices, and those are part of the real thing from the looks of it. There's also this big looking mall here. We'll pass through here and just make a U-turn. Yeah, this looks like a large famous mall. I'm not sure where the expo center is. It must be one of these. So well-known Kielce landmarks are something like Galeria Eco Mall. That's probably the one that we passed through. That looks like it. Skanska Komarch offices, Counties Hall, Cities University, and the Expo Center. Now I'm not sure if I can turn left on red here. I would guess not. The traffic light is also a bit awkward for me. Can't really go beyond, go to the line. But my goodness, this looks so nice and looks so different, right? Definitely not your typical template city. And I love going through unique areas like this. Shows really the amount of detail, the amount of handcrafting that was put in. So thank you Lynx21 for the amazing work on this area. Absolutely loving it. How will I take a screenshot? I'll worry about that later, guys. But now, let's pass through. I like how the traffic lights are not overly long as well. I'm not sure if that's how it is in reality, but I think it's very apt. I like the signs as well. Lublin, yes. That's exactly where we're going. If the signs are, the duration of the traffic lights are perfect for trucking. You don't want to wait that long when you're driving a sim. Save here. Take care of taking a screenshot later, finding that perfect angle. Even the highway here, right? And there's a pass through. So what we did was the ramp itself, the merging lane is lengthy enough. If you remember from the previous episode where I was praising Grand Utopia because of the very nice ramps. Here, even though we have a 1:19 scale, the ramps are properly developed. Oh, that looks so good. With all these, what do you call these? Wind sound barriers or something? And the signage, right? I would guess the signage is spot on. Some closed areas in here. And I'm not sure when we get to the... that might be the end of the new area. We'll see. But yeah. So those are like two of the major places in Poland. And there are so many. Like in Poland, there are a total of 9 major changes. I'll try to pronounce those cities. Slow down here, 40. So there are 2 cities that have been added that are bordering Ukraine, if I remember correctly. Those are, is this Kelm or Chelm or something, and Krasnystav, something like that maybe. So those are 2 new cities on the border of Ukraine. Gdynia, the port city, has received a complete rebuild. I flew there yesterday. Looks very nice, looks very much like a port now and very filled. So that's something we can explore as well in the future. Katowice has been refreshed. Katowice. Kielce has been rebuilt. That's the one we looked at. Krasnystav has been added. I don't think we've checked that out yet. Opole has been rebuilt, and if I remember correctly, this Opole and the surrounding areas were actually done by Mandelsoft. It says in the blog, if I remember correctly. Yeah, Mandelsoft, the lead developer of ProMods, has been working on it. It looks very nice as well. I wish we could have driven through that too, but yeah, you could only drive through so much in one episode, so we'll check that out later. I guess the biggest concern from my end would be the stuttering. It's been a while since I've gotten stuttering, and I have not changed any of my other mods, so I would attribute that to ProMods. So I'm not sure. Might be wrong, but that's the only change I've done. Might be something wrong here. It hasn't crashed yet, but there might be some assets or something that are getting loaded or trying to get loaded in the background and not being successful. So after we do this trip, I'll try to look at the log and just check if there are some repeating error messages, and I'll try to report them. But this is exactly why ProMods is very cautious when it comes to releasing updates, because they are very like that. Yeah, lots of stutters at the moment. Like they have a big following, right? They're the most famous map mod out there for ETS2, and they are being very careful with their release process, because if they just release something without testing it properly, they get, I would imagine, thousands of comments, emails, replies, complaining, reporting about these bugs. So they try to squish them before they do a public release. And the way they do that is they have different levels of testing. I don't know if they have an alpha. I'm not really aware of the detailed process, but they have a beta, a closed beta. They have this release candidate when they're feeling pretty confident about the things already. They have a release candidate, and then if they don't find any other game-breaking bugs, then they release this. But I think from what I've seen, release candidate 1, RC1, still has some bugs, and those big stutters. And there are some known bugs as well, which have been shared by the ProMods team, so I think those are being worked on. So there will be an RC2. We're not sure how far that will progress, but just be assured when the public version finally goes live, then it should be more or less a very polished version, because they really go through all these painstaking steps for us, and all of this is free. I still can't believe it. Through the recent months, I've gotten more and more exposed to Payware, and I happily pay the mods because I appreciate the value of them, and I'm more than willing to pay them for their time. But ProMods continues to be free, and the only time you pay is if you would like the optional download, that link that you can buy. So you get one download link with fast download speeds instead of like downloading multiple files at a very slow pace. And that's like what, €1? My goodness, for all of this. As we're loading stuff again, let me show the map. I know it's not the best placement. Let me move my head like this. So feel free to pause the video, find your favorite spot, let me know in the comments, and the thing with the most votes will be featured in the next episode. Okay, right, let me remove that because I might forget, and I'll block the entire video the rest of the way. Might not be good. This area specifically I don't think is new, but that doesn't really mean it's a bad thing, because we are getting such a nice countryside drive here. And that's what's amazing. with all these updates they're doing, they are refreshing the old areas so that you can drive anywhere, literally anywhere, and get a very cohesive experience. Like everything just feels realistic. There's no more like that, oh, I won't avoid this region because this one is pretty old, and you would feel the date here. It would feel very dated, and it would ruin the experience because it has ugly prefabs and stuff like that. Yeah, that's what they're trying to prevent. Miasto Lublin. When I see the Lublin, it still reminds me of what? Scotland? Because of Dublin. And I don't even know how to pronounce it if it's the same thing. So guys, let me know in the comments. Man, this is really nice, huh? I like the buildings here. I wonder if this has been remade. Based on the map, it shouldn't have been part of ProMods 2.50. But maybe it's been part of one of the recent changes that I haven't checked out yet. Sure love those buildings at the back though. There's even a church there. So yeah, all these textures, they're default. The only Project Next Gen thing I have remaining is the weather. So the clouds and the lighting. That's why you saw it was a bit dark. A bit of unrelated news. I know we're featuring ProMods here, but I'm talking trucking as a whole from time to time. Looks like the next update for Project Next Gen, the paid version, is going to be very nice and fixes those brightness issues that we've been encountering. So looking forward to that one. I'll keep you posted when I get more news. Also, I'm using 4 times NPI anti-aliasing again, NVIDIA Profile Inspector. So we might have gotten a few more frame drops, but not really significant from what I was able to see. Very smooth overall, and very nice visuals. Minimal shimmering, minimal jagged edges. That just is proving the testament that everything we've driven through today is optimized. I would even dare to say it's like SCS level optimization that they've done, because by now ProMods has mastered the art of mapping to a very realistic quality without sacrificing performance. I remember before, in the early ages of ProMods, of course they had such fine detail, but they were not really familiar with optimization yet. And as a result, when you go through those areas, you would get a nice view, but your frames would definitely suffer and you would notice it. So you'd know immediately when you are in ProMods country. Now though, they found the perfect balance. So they make all those amazing visuals without sacrificing frame rate. Amazing. Alright, awesome stuff. Let's go ahead and unload the trailer. Pretty smooth drive today. Hope you guys enjoyed that quick preview. Let me know in the comments where you want to go to next. We for sure will be exploring more of this in the coming days and in the coming streams. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a nice day. Clumsy trucking, and looking forward to hearing from you. Bye-bye.